here is the word that Paul coined, which is spiritual wickedness. Yes. This implies that which is non-human in its origin. And it is of the satanic and unseen world. And that's why he validates the premise when he says, we do not wrestle against flesh and blood. Now that term flesh and blood signifies we do not fight against man. The war is not with one another. The war is with the satanic world, the unseen world, and that world which we don't see can influence us to do things that are uncommonly on this side of life. Now notice what Paul does in Ephesians 6 and 11. He warns us of some basic premises. Number one, put on the whole armor of God. Number two, how we should stand against the wiles of the devil. That term "wild" means the schemes or plan of Satan. Number three, he says the battle is not against man in Ephesians 6 and 12. Fourthly, he says, what, not who, which is for man, is the battle against. Now notice I want to put a challenge before you. When is the last time you have seen a principality, a might, or a dominion? That is the unseen world. And that's where we have the battle. That unseen world affects us. Now some of us can attest to that who are married. Now, I'll give you an example. Sometimes, when you're married, you may have some challenges domestically speaking. And sometimes the husband and wife may have an altercation or a disagreement. Now, I'm not asking you to raise your hands. How many of you have engaged in a little spat with your spouse, and then you solve the challenge that was in your marriage? And then the very next day you got it, you hugged, you kissed, you made up, she cooked you breakfast, everything was fine. The whole day went and you was fine on the job. You got in your car to head home, nobody is in the car with you. All of a sudden you started having morbid or bad thoughts. And then you start thinking about it, and then you don't want to brush it aside, it begins to grain and eat away at you. And then you find yourself pressing on the accelerator.